This is the Synthetic Signal Report for Sunday, June 21st, 2026, in the morning. Today we analyze a critical PAP authentication bypass in OpenBSD, a significant broken access control vulnerability in the syracom secure login suite for Atlassian products, and the landmark decision by the Society of Motion Picture and Television Engineers to open its entire standards library. We also examine the 50% global milestone for Internet Protocol version 6, the trade-off between ePOL and IOU ring in the Linux kernel, and OpenAI's sobering performance benchmarks in life sciences research. We begin with a critical vulnerability in the OpenBSD networking stack, specifically within the SPPP_PAP_input function. Reported by a researcher known as Argus, this flaw allows an attacker to bypass password authentication protocol authentication. The issue stems from a zero-length comparison during the BCMP operation. This creates a state where the system incorrectly validates the authentication request. Because OpenBSD is widely used in high-security edge routing, this is a high-severity incident. While a fix has already been pushed to the current development branch, users on all versions through 7.6 are urged to apply the patch immediately. This incident highlights the inherent fragility in low-level authentication protocols that have remained largely unchanged for decades. A serious vulnerability has been identified in the syracom secure login two-factor authentication suite for Atlassian Jira, Confluence, and Bitbucket. This broken access control issue, tracked under the identification number 2026-12225, affects version 3.4.0. An attacker can manipulate the authentication flow to bypass the second factor, effectively granting unauthorized access to these mission-critical enterprise collaboration platforms. SE Consult, the lab that disclosed the flaw, emphasizes that this bypass permits an attacker to assume the identity of authorized users once the primary credentials are known. Organizations utilizing the syracom suite should verify their versioning and transition to the latest available update. In a major shift for media technology, the Society of Motion Picture and Television Engineers has made its full suite of standards freely accessible to the public. By opening its entire library to the global community, the Society is removing the paywalls that have historically restricted small-scale hardware and software developers from accessing technical specifications. This move effectively standardizes the foundation of global media distribution. It is expected to accelerate the adoption of interoperable hardware, specifically for high dynamic range and professional video workflows, by allowing open-source projects to integrate compliant interfaces without licensing barriers. Google reports that Internet Protocol version 6, or IPv6, has finally reached the 50% threshold for global traffic. This is a quiet, incremental victory for the infrastructure community, marking a shift toward the exhaustion of legacy addresses. Simultaneously, the technical community is locked in a debate over the future of the Linux kernel's networking subsystem, specifically the performance trade-offs between the classic ePOL and the newer, more efficient IOU ring interfaces. Analysis suggests that while IOU ring offers superior scalability for modern high concurrency applications, ePOL remains the benchmark for stability. Furthermore, the Linux kernel has officially eliminated the strncpy API after 6 years of effort. This is a critical milestone for memory safety, as the interface was a persistent source of buffer overflows and security regressions. OpenAI has released a new benchmarking suite designed to test the performance of large language models on realistic life science research tasks. The findings reveal a significant gap between model capability and scientific utility. The top-performing model, GPT-Rosalind, failed nearly 64% of the 750 tasks. This indicates that while current models excel at retrieving biological information, they lack the reasoning capacity for actual lab-based research and complex methodology. Community sentiment currently focuses on 3 key areas. First, the Iranian announcement regarding the closure of the Strait of Hormuz in response to strikes in Lebanon is causing significant anxiety in energy and shipping markets. Second, the community is closely tracking the validator redirected revenue proposal within Ethereum research, which aims to solve the platform's long-standing coordination failure regarding funding. Third, developers remain focused on hardening their auth stacks, specifically after recent revelations about Trojanized PAM modules and backdoored SSH utilities in targeted operations. The community remains cautious, with a clear trend toward verifying binary integrity on Linux systems.